The lie? You just told it. In the last 30 seconds, while you were deciding to click this video, your brain invented an elaborate justification for something you're avoiding doing. And the part that's made me laugh for 5,000 years? You mortals don't even notice when you're doing it. I'm Zeus, and there's one specific lie, one delusion you humans repeat every single day that I've watched your species tell since you learned to speak. Right now, you already know what it is. Your body just reacted. Stomach tightened a little. Breathing changed slightly. In the next 13 minutes, I'm going to dismantle this illusion so surgically that you won't be able to hide from it anymore. And when I'm done, you'll either hate me for taking away your comfort or thank me for giving your life back. You already chose to keep watching. There's no going back now.
Let me ask you a question. And before you answer, know that I've asked this same question to millions of humans across 5 millennia. There's something in your life, right now, today, that you know you should do, but don't. You know exactly what it is. I know you know because your brain just thought of it. Could be big, could be small, but you know. Now here's the interesting part. And by interesting, I mean depressingly predictable. You have a perfectly logical reason for why you haven't done it yet. A justification so rational, so sensible, so defensible that you genuinely believe it. That justification, that elaborate narrative you've built, that's the lie. From my throne on Olympus, I watched Marcus Aurelius, philosopher-emperor, most powerful mortal on earth in 180 AD, write journals about accepting fate with stoic wisdom, beautiful philosophy, deep, transformative. Except I saw what he was really doing, using philosophy to avoid confronting that his son Commodus was a dangerous psychopath who would eventually destroy Rome. He transformed paternal cowardice into stoic virtue, rebranded escape as wise acceptance of what I cannot control. And you humans? 2,000 years later, with your self-help podcasts, online therapy, and morning journaling routines, you do the exact same shit, just with more sophisticated vocabulary and motivational hashtags. Here's what I've witnessed across every civilization, every culture, every era of your species. You humans have a supernatural talent for disguising cowardice as wisdom, for transforming procrastination into strategy, for convincing yourselves that the thing you're afraid to do is actually the thing you've consciously chosen not to do. And the narrative you mortals build is always absolutely convincing, even to yourselves, especially to yourselves. But here's what you don't understand about how this illusion works. The brain mechanics behind it, simultaneously genius and terrifying. Let me show you what I've been watching for millennia.
Quick question before we continue. Tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching this right now? Because I've observed this exact same pattern everywhere. Tokyo, New York, Sao Paulo, London. This lie, it's not cultural, it's not regional, it's human. Now let me show you the mechanics of how your species creates this illusion. Your human brain has two systems competing for control right now. System 1, amygdala, wants safety, comfort, predictability. It's the part that kept your ancestors alive by avoiding saber-toothed tigers. System 2, prefrontal cortex, processes long-term consequences, understands that temporary discomfort can generate better results. When you face something important but scary, your amygdala fires an alarm in 5 seconds. Danger, discomfort, avoid, stay safe. Now, here's the brilliant part, and I say brilliant with all the sarcasm 5,000 years of watching you mortals has given me. Instead of just admitting, I'm scared, your prefrontal cortex constructs an entire rational narrative justifying why avoiding is actually the intelligent decision. And that narrative always sounds absurdly reasonable to you humans. I won't start that business now because I need to study the market more first. Real translation: I'm afraid of public failure. I won't have that difficult conversation with my partner because I don't want to create unnecessary conflict. Translation: I'm afraid of confrontation and possible rejection. I won't apply for that position because I probably won't get it anyway. Translation: if I don't try, I can't be rejected. I've watched this in every emperor who hesitated, every artist who procrastinated, every visionary who failed. None of them ever said, I was afraid, and ran away. They always had an elaborate reason, logical, defensible, sophisticated. You humans are masters of this. But here's the detail that will disturb you. The smarter you mortals think you are, the worse this lie becomes. Dumb humans simply say, I'm lazy, and that's it. You artistically construct a 3-page PhD thesis explaining why avoiding is actually strategic, wise, and conscious. Your intelligence didn't free you from the lie. It gave you better tools to delude yourselves in more sophisticated ways. Congratulations! What impressive evolution you've achieved! Want an example that perfectly captures you modern humans? The person who took 15 online courses about entrepreneurship but never launched anything. 6 certificates, 30 hours of video lessons, 0 real action. I'm building capacity, preparing myself, building a solid foundation. Sound productive, doesn't it? It's gamified procrastination. You mortals transformed learning into a comfort zone. You made preparation the destination instead of the starting point. And the best part? You feel virtuous doing it. Look how dedicated I am to learning. I've watched entire generations of humans do this, always thinking they're different, always believing their procrastination is uniquely sophisticated. But now comes the dark part, because this lie you humans tell yourselves, it evolves, gets more sophisticated with each generation. And you modern mortals, you've transformed this into an art form. Let me show you how. The modern human lie has 3 favorite disguises, and I guarantee you, mortals use at least 2 of them without realizing it. Mask number 1. I'm working on myself first. I've watched this type for millennia. But you modern humans have perfected it into something almost beautiful in its delusion. Therapy every week, reading self-development books, journaling, meditating, going to ayahuasca retreats. And using all this deep internal work as justification for doing absolutely nothing in real life. I can't start that project until I'm completely healed from my traumas. I can't pursue a relationship until I love myself completely first. I can't chase my dream career until I resolve all my internal issues. Translation, you mortals never admit. If I never heal completely, I never have to risk anything. I can spend my entire life in preparation without ever facing the possibility of failure. You humans transformed personal growth into the most sophisticated form of procrastination I've witnessed in 5 millennia. Genius. Tragic, but genius. Mask number 2. It's not the right time yet. This is my favorite. The oldest, the most universal across your entire species. I'll start when I have more money saved. I'll do it when the kids grow up. I'll try when the market improves. I'll start Monday or January or next year or when I retire. You know what's funny from my eternal perspective? I watch you humans die, literally die. At 80 years old, still waiting for the right time that never came. And on their deathbed, they finally admit the truth to themselves. Too late. I've seen this exact scene millions of times. Different faces, same delusion. Mask number 3, and this one you mortals love. I consciously chose not to do this because I have other priorities. This is the most dangerous because it sounds most legitimate, more mature, wiser. I could pursue that dream, but I choose to focus on family stability. I could try that, but I choose to be realistic about my limitations. And maybe in 5% of cases, this is true. But in the other 95% of you humans, it's fear dressed as wisdom, cowardice rebranded as maturity, giving up disguised as conscious choice. You mortals are so predictable, it's almost enduring. But here's the pattern connecting all these masks. The truth you humans don't want to hear, but already know deep down.
Pay attention now, because this is the truth nobody in your species wants to admit. The lie you tell yourself isn't about circumstances. It's not about timing. It's not about preparation. It's about identity. You're not avoiding action. You're avoiding discovering who you really are without your excuses. That person who needs to prepare more, not avoiding the work, avoiding discovering whether they actually have talent or are mediocre. That person working on themselves first, not avoiding relationships, avoiding discovering if they can be loved for who they really are. That person waiting for the right time, not waiting for ideal conditions, waiting to wake up one day magically transformed into someone brave, without having to do anything brave. Here's the pattern I've observed across 5,000 years of human civilization. You mortals prefer to live an entire life as unrealized potential rather than risk 6 months discovering your real limits. It's more comfortable for you humans to die at 80, believing I could have been great if I'd tried, than to try at 30 and discover I'm just okay and I need to make peace with that. And that elaborate narrative you've built, all those logical, sensible, defensible reasons why you haven't done that thing yet, they're not your strategy. They're your prison. Every generation of humans thinks they invented this, that their version is unique. It never is. And the truly pathetic part, you always knew this. On some deep level, you humans always know when you're lying to yourselves. It's just that admitting it means having to do something about it. And doing something means facing exactly what you've spent years elaborately avoiding. But here's the truth that should keep you mortals up tonight.
The lie isn't the problem. The problem is you humans have become so good at telling it that now you believe it. Genuinely believe it. That fear you rationalized as being strategic, you forgot it's fear. That escape you rebranded as not the right time, you forgot it's escape. That cowardice you transformed into conscious, mature choice, you forgot it's cowardice. And the longer you live inside this narrative, the more it becomes your identity. You're no longer someone temporarily avoiding something. You become someone who is cautious, strategic, who waits for the right time, who has other priorities. The lie stops being something you tell and becomes who you are. I've watched millions of you mortals disappear into these narratives. Different words, same trap. But here's the detail that will flip everything upside down. The lie has a function. It protects you from rejection, from failure, from discovering that maybe you're not as special as you need to believe to keep living. And that protection isn't inherently bad. The problem isn't that you humans tell this lie. The problem is what this protection is costing you mortals. Because while you're protected from the possibility of failing, you're also protected from the possibility of winning. While you're safe from being rejected, you're also safe from ever being truly chosen. While you maintain the illusion of unlimited potential, you guarantee 0 results. So, here's my question to you. How much of your human life are you willing to waste to maintain this protection? Because from my eternal perspective, your time is running out faster than you mortals can imagine. And that comfortable narrative won't console you when you're at the end, realizing you spent 80 years preparing to live instead of simply living.
But here's the good news nobody tells you, mortals. You don't need to defeat the fear. You don't need to be completely ready. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just need to stop pretending your excuses are reasons. Here's how to know the difference. Legitimate reason includes concrete future action. I won't do X now because I need Y first, and I'm doing Y on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Excuse doesn't include action. I won't do X because I need Y first. No date, no commitment, no action. That thing you're avoiding, in the next 72 hours, take one action, no matter how small. No more planning, no more preparing better, just action. And watch what happens when you stop lying to yourself for 72 hours. Now, in the comments, I want brutal honesty. What's that one thing you've been avoiding for months or years? And what's the sophisticated narrative you've created to justify it? Write it down. Exposing the lie is the first step to destroying it. Remember I said you'd already told the lie in the first 30 seconds of this video? Now you know what it was, and more importantly, now you know you always knew. You humans always do. And since we talked about self-deception, next video I'm revealing something that will disturb you mortals even more. Why modern humans are more empty than ancient slaves. The comparison will destroy everything you think about progress and freedom, because it reveals something you do every day, something you call choice that slaves never had to face. And when you understand it, you'll question whether you're actually freer or just more confused. Until then, mortals, try to go at least 48 hours without lying to yourselves. I know it's asking a lot from you humans, but try.